The Shah's enforcers. SAVAK's role in maintaining royal power. For nearly 3 decades, SAVAK operated as the Shah's most feared instrument of control, ensuring that his rule remained unchallenged. While the monarchy projected an image of modernization and progress, behind the scenes, the secret police worked tirelessly to eliminate any opposition. From university classrooms to the streets of Tehran, from underground political meetings to foreign exile groups, SAVAK's reach was inescapable. The agency's methods were ruthless. Surveillance was the foundation of its power. Agents monitored phone calls, intercepted letters, and placed informants in workplaces, mosques, and even families. Political discussions, no matter how private, could lead to arrest. Opposition newspapers were shut down, and journalists who dared to criticize the Shah were either imprisoned or forced into exile. Public trials were rare. SAVAK operated in the shadows. Detainees were taken to undisclosed locations where they faced brutal interrogations. Torture was standard practice, used not just to extract confessions, but to instill fear. Prisoners were beaten, electrocuted, and subjected to psychological torment. Some were executed in secret, their bodies dumped in remote locations, while others simply vanished, their fates never officially recorded. Religious leaders who opposed the monarchy were among SAVAK's prime targets. The agency closely monitored mosques, clerics, and religious students, particularly those connected to Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini. In 1963, when Khomeini publicly condemned the Shah's policies, SAVAK responded with mass arrests and a violent crackdown on demonstrations. Khomeini himself was exiled, but SAVAK continued to watch his followers, imprisoning and torturing those who promoted his ideology. Beyond religious opposition, SAVAK was relentless against leftist movements. The Tudeh party, once a powerful force in Iranian politics, was dismantled through a series of purges, arrests, and executions. Labor unions were infiltrated, student protests were crushed, and intellectual circles were disrupted by the constant fear of informants. The agency's strategy was simple: divide and conquer. By keeping opposition groups fractured and suspicious of one another, SAVAK ensured that no unified movement could rise against the Shah. Even outside Iran, SAVAK's influence was felt. Iranian embassies served as intelligence outposts, tracking dissidents in Europe and North America. Some activists received death threats, while others found their families in Iran harassed or arrested. High-profile assassinations abroad, including the killing of former SAVAK chief Teimour Bakhtiar, demonstrated that no one was beyond the Shah's reach. Despite its brutality, SAVAK's grip on Iran began to weaken in the late 1970s. The agency's unchecked power created widespread resentment, turning even moderate critics of the Shah against him. As protests erupted across the country, the tactics that had once silenced opposition only fueled the fire. Mass arrests and shootings at demonstrations failed to deter the growing revolution. By the time the Shah fled Iran in 1979, SAVAK was one of the first institutions to collapse. Its headquarters were stormed, its files destroyed, and its agents either executed or forced into hiding. The enforcers who had ruled through fear were now the hunted, their once absolute power reduced to nothing. SAVAK had been the backbone of the Shah's rule, but in the end, its brutality became its greatest weakness. The terror it had instilled in the Iranian people did not suppress rebellion. It ignited it. The agency's downfall was not just the collapse of a secret police force. It was the final proof that no regime, no matter how powerful, could survive when its people had nothing left to fear.